When we think about turning 80, a lot of us picture it a certain way. Maybe sort of slowing down, things diminishing.
Yeah, that's a really common image, isn't it? A kind of quiet ending?
Now, what if that whole picture is just wrong? What if hitting 80 isn't an ending at all, but actually a gateway to something, well, pretty profound, a transformation?
Exactly. That's the surprising truth often missed. It's less about decline and much more about a fundamental rewiring of how life feels, how you experience it.
And that's exactly what we're jumping into today in this deep dive.
Yeah.
We've been looking at some really insightful stuff, especially from sources like the YouTube channel, Life Advice for Older People.
Mm-hmm.
And our mission really is to unpack 5 universal shifts, things that happen to basically everyone once you cross that 80-year mark.
And crucially, these aren't problems to be solved. They're actually opportunities, real chances for what could genuinely be, well, your most fulfilling decade.
Right. Think of it like getting a map for this next stage. Understanding these changes prepares you, lets you not just cope, but really thrive.
Yeah, a roadmap. That's a great way to put it.
We'll cover everything from, physical energy shifts, how sleep changes completely.
So your social world kind of evolves.
Even your relationship with time itself and memory.
Oh, definitely. And stick around for that 5th one.
Yes, the 5th one. It's quite liberating, I think. It can really redefine how you see aging altogether.
It really can.
So this deep dive is all about giving you that roadmap, setting you up for potentially the most intentional, fulfilling time of your life. Let's get into it.
Okay.
So the first really big shift you'll likely notice, maybe even before 80, but definitely around then, is physical energy and sleep. They just transform.
They really do. It's more than just feeling a bit tired. Your whole body recalibrates, finds a new rhythm.
A new rhythm. How so?
Well, your circadian rhythm and, your internal body clock, it naturally shifts earlier.
Okay. So you find yourself wanting to go to bed earlier.
Exactly. Maybe around 8 or 9 p.m. feels natural. And then waking up earlier, too, like 5 or 6 a.m.
Right. And energy levels change, too.
Definitely. You tend to have peak energy in the morning, maybe early afternoon, but then there's a much more noticeable dip, often around 2 p.m.
That 2 p.m. slump.
It's classic, and it's not necessarily a sign you're exhausted or doing something wrong. It's just your body's new optimal schedule. Even sleep itself changes: more light sleep, less deep sleep, waking up more often.
Which can worry people, right? They think their sleep is broken.
Precisely, but the key insight here is this is normal. It's not poor sleep quality. It's just different. Your body is operating efficiently for this stage of life.
That reminds me of Lucille's story, the 82-year-old retired teacher.
Ah, yes, Lucille. Her story really illustrates this.
She was really frustrated at first, wasn't she? Feeling broken because she couldn't stay up late anymore and kept waking early.
She was. So many people fight it. They think, like you said, that something's wrong. That 2 p.m. dip especially, or the early bedtime, they feel like they're failing somehow.
So how do you help someone shift that thinking from feeling broken to accepting this new normal?
Well, Lucille's doctor was key. Helped her understand it wasn't a flaw, it was just her body's rhythm now. So instead of fighting it, she redesigned her day.
Smart. How did she do that?
She put her important stuff, reading, writing, a bit of exercise in the morning when she felt sharpest.
Okay, match tasks to energy.
Exactly. Social things moved to early afternoon. And she actually scheduled a guilt-free 20-minute rest around 2 p.m., embraced the early bedtime.
And the result?
She said she felt more energetic, more accomplished than she had in years, just by working with her body, not against it. Acceptance and adaptation led to well-being. Resistance just led to frustration.
So for you listening, how can you apply this? Well, first, maybe track your energy for a week. Just notice when you feel most alert when you dip.
Yeah, that's a great first step. Then second, try restructuring your day a bit. Put the demanding tasks in your peak energy times.
And third, create a really consistent sleep routine. Honor that earlier natural bedtime. Maybe dim the lights an hour before, stay off screens. You know the drill.
And just reflect on it. Have you noticed your own energy patterns shifting already? Remember, it's not your body breaking down. It's just operating on a different, maybe even more efficient cadence for this time of life.
Right. Aligning with those rhythms can really lead to more satisfying, productive days. Okay, moving on then. The second big area of change, your social world.
Ah, yes. This one evolves too, sometimes in quite unexpected ways.
It's not just about, losing touch with people. It's deeper than that.
Much deeper. It's a real redefinition of your social landscape. Yeah, some friendships might naturally fade a bit.
Which can be hard.
It can be. But others often become much deeper, richer, more meaningful.
Why does that happen, do you think?
It seems to stem from a shift in priorities. You gravitate towards more authentic connections.
Right.
There's just less tolerance for superficial chat, maybe.
Yeah, you value your time and energy more.
Exactly. You're drawn to people who get your current life stage, share your current values, not just people you've known forever out of habit.
So it's less about quantity, more quality.
Precisely. It's not about becoming isolated. It's more like social optimization. That's a term researchers sometimes use. Directing your emotional energy towards relationships that give you genuine support, understanding, and joy.
I'm thinking of Eugene's story here. He was 81 and his old poker group dissolved. That hit him hard initially, didn't it?
It really did. He felt like he was losing a part of his identity. And that initial feeling of loss is very real for many people when their social circles shift like that.
So how did he reframe it? How did he move past that feeling of loss?
Well, eventually he started volunteering at a local library, helping with a literacy program.
Oh, interesting.
And there he met other volunteers, many in their 70s and 80s. They built new friendships, but these were based on a shared current purpose, shared values.
Yeah, different kind of connection.
Yeah. Totally. He found those conversations more meaningful, more supportive. And interestingly, his relationships with his adult kids also got deeper because he was investing his social energy more intentionally there too. He found a new sense of belonging, not by clinging to the past, but embracing new, authentic ties.
That's powerful. So what are the takeaways for you listening? First, maybe give yourself permission. Let some relationships fade naturally if they need to, without feeling guilty.
That's huge. Second, maybe actively look for new connections, people in similar life stages or who share your current interests and values.
Yeah. And third, nurture the good ones you already have. Be intentional about quality time, real conversations.
And a really crucial point, don't feel you have to keep up the same social pace as you did decades ago. It really is about quality over quantity now.
So maybe ask yourself, what changes have you noticed in your friendships? Which ones feel more important now? Have any new connections surprised you?
Yeah, seeing it as an upgrade to your social world, not a loss. That's the key perspective shift.
Okay, upgrade. I like that. Let's move to the third change. This one feels really significant. Your relationship with time and priorities. It undergoes a revolutionary shift.
Revolutionary is a good word for it. It's often called the time perspective shift.
Explain that a bit. What does it feel like?
Well, paradoxically, even though days might sometimes feel shorter, maybe because of less physical stamina,
Right.
you become incredibly selective about how you spend each moment, acutely selective.
Oh, so what drives that?
A lot of it is just less concern about what other people think, a much stronger focus on what brings you genuine satisfaction.
Oh, so social expectations, keeping up appearances, that stuff fades.
It really does. It starts to feel irrelevant, pleasing people who aren't really central to your life. That pressure just lifts.
Wow. That sounds incredibly freeing.
It is. It's a huge liberation. You actually start saying no to things that drain you without guilt, and you say yes, maybe for the first time ever, to things that truly feed your soul. That whole FOMO fear of missing out, it genuinely morphs into JOC. The joy of conscious choice.
Joy of conscious choice. I love that. That makes me think of Ruby, 83. She made a decision that really shocked her family, right?
Oh, Ruby's story is fantastic here. For 40 years, she'd been super active in her church. Committees, events, you name it.
Right. Pillar of the community sort of thing.
Exactly. But over time, it had become more duty than joy. Exhausting obligation, really. And that shift from obligation to genuine desire, it's profound when it happens.
So what did she do?
She realized she was pouring most of her energy into things that didn't truly fulfill her anymore, so she made a radical change, stepped down from all of it.
Oh, after 40 years.
Yep, and instead started spending Sunday mornings in her garden. Her absolute passion. She also started volunteering at a community garden project.
And how did they go down?
Family was worried at first, but Ruby, she felt more energized, more purposeful than she had in years. It's a perfect example of developing what psychologists call crystallized wisdom.
Crystallized wisdom.
Yeah, that ability to see past the surface stuff, the superficial concerns, right down to what truly matters. It leads to choices based purely on personal fulfillment.
Okay, so how can you start applying this? First, maybe do a little time audit. Look at your week. What really energizes you? What just drains you? Be honest.
Good start. Second, practice saying no, gently, but firmly, to requests that don't align with your real priorities, and crucially, without the guilt.
That's the hard part.
It is, but it gets easier. Third, intentionally schedule more time for things that bring deep satisfaction, even if they don't look productive to the outside world.
Like Ruby's gardening?
Exactly. And fourth, use this new perspective on time. Maybe have those important conversations you've been putting off, or plan experiences you've always wanted.
So, again, a question for you listening. What obligations have you maybe let go of recently?
Right.
Or what surprising new priorities have popped up?
Yeah, it often leads to a more authentic life than people imagined was possible. Really quite fulfilling.
Okay, number 4. This one's fascinating. Memory and how your brain processes things. It's not what most people assume.
Not at all. It's absolutely crucial to get this right. It's not simple cognitive decline. It's much more like a sophisticated reorganization.
A reorganization.
Yeah.
Okay, so what does that look like?
Well, yes, maybe short-term memory isn't quite as lightning fast, walking into a room and forgetting why.
Happens to the best of us.
It does. But at the same time, your brain often gets better at accessing and, importantly, interconnecting long-term memories.
Really? Better?
Often, yes. Memories from decades ago can become incredibly vivid, and the brain becomes really skilled at seeing patterns, making connections between different experiences over your whole life.
So it's like shifting gears.
Exactly. Think of it like transitioning from being a high-speed data processor
Like in your younger years.
to becoming a sophisticated pattern recognition and wisdom synthesis system. You trade rapid recall for deep insight, quick learning for profound understanding.
And that can actually lead to better decisions.
Often, yes, because you're drawing on this vast database of lived experience. You see the bigger picture in a way you couldn't before.
So it's not deterioration, it's re-specialization. I like that. Like Carlton, the retired engineer you mentioned. He was 84.
Ah, Carlton, yes, perfect example. He got really frustrated because he couldn't quickly memorize new technical details like he used to.
Right, he felt like he was losing his edge.
He did. But then he discovered something amazing. When his son, also an engineer, came to him with really complex work problems,
Yeah.
Carlton could often see the solution almost instantly. Solutions that baffled his son and his younger colleagues.
Why? How?
Decades of experience had literally carved specialized pathways in his brain. He had insights that pure processing speed just couldn't deliver. He learned to work with this new cognitive style.
How did he adapt, practically?
He started using simple tools, notebooks, lists for the day-to-day details, the stuff he used to memorize easily.
Okay.
That freed up his mental energy.
Okay, externalize the simple stuff.
Exactly, and he focused his mind on where it now excelled: complex thinking, problem solving. He even joined a community advisory board where his knack for seeing long-term patterns was incredibly valuable.
So practical tips for you listening. First, like Carlton, maybe externalize routine info. Use calendars, lists, notes. Free up that mental bandwidth.
Definitely. Second, lean into activities that use your pattern recognition strengths. Strategy games, maybe mentoring someone, tackling complex problems that require insight, not just speed.
And third, keep challenging your brain, but maybe by building on what you already know, rather than trying to master completely new, unrelated skills from scratch.
That's a great point. And fourth, and this is maybe the most important, recognize your thinking style has changed, not necessarily deteriorated. It's optimized for wisdom now, for insight, not just raw speed.
So maybe reflect.
Yeah.
How has your thinking or memory shifted? Have you noticed new strengths emerging, even if other things feel different?
Yeah. The 80-year-old brain is really quite specialized for the kinds of deep insights and judgments that matter most at this stage.
Okay, brings us to number 5. And you said this one is often the most profound, the most surprising.
It really is. For many people, it's this unexpected, deep sense of personal freedom and authenticity.
Freedom and authenticity. Tell me more. Where does that come from?
Well, think about it. By 80, many of the big external pressures that shape earlier life, they just kind of dissolve.
Like what?
Career ambitions, climbing the ladder, impressing colleagues or bosses, that's mostly gone. Societal expectations, keeping up with the Joneses, less relevant. Big responsibilities like raising kids are usually completed.
Right. So a lot of the shoulds fall away.
Exactly. And that creates this incredible space. It gives you permission, maybe truly for the first time, to live completely according to your own values, your own desires, without that constant low-level hum of worrying about what others think.
So less fear of judgment.
Much less. And it's crucial to understand this isn't about being selfish. It's about finally fully becoming yourself, authentically you.
And that actually benefits relationships.
Often, yes. Because you're more honest, more real, People find that engaging. There's this interesting paradox that your physical abilities might be more limited,
Right.
but your emotional and, dare I say, spiritual freedom, it expands dramatically. You finally stop performing roles. You just are.
Yeah, that sounds amazing, like Constance's story, the minister's wife.
Oh, Constance, she embodies this beautifully. She spent her whole adult life being the proper minister's wife, always doing the right thing, saying the right thing, even suppressing her own passions, like her love for art.
That must have been exhausting.
Imagine. But then at 82, she just decided she was done. Done with being proper.
What did she do?
Started wearing bright, vibrant clothes. Took up painting again, bold, abstract stuff. Started speaking her mind much more freely.
And how did people react?
Initially, maybe a bit surprised, but she didn't become difficult. She became more vibrant, more engaging. Her family realized this authentic Constance was actually way more fun to be around. Her grandkids especially loved it.
So being truly yourself actually makes you more connected.
Often, yes, because the honesty improves relationships. Your lifestyle choices become about genuine joy, not convention or what seems sensible.
Okay, so how can you cultivate this for yourself?
Yeah.
First step, maybe identify where you've been living by someone else's script, others' expectations.
Good starting point. Then second, consciously give yourself permission, explicit permission to make choices based purely on what brings you satisfaction.
And third, maybe experiment a little. Express an authentic opinion you might have held back before. Pursue an interest you've kept hidden.
Gently, perhaps. And fourth, really use this freedom. Use it for growth, for exploration. Try those things you always wanted to do but felt you couldn't or shouldn't.
So the final reflection for you. Have you felt this growing sense of authenticity, this freedom bubbling up? What parts of yourself are you expressing more now? What expectations have you gratefully let go of?
It's so common to hear people say they feel more themselves at 80 than they ever have before. It's quite wonderful, really.
Wow. What an incredible set of transformations we've covered.
Yeah.
So just to recap these 5 big shifts, we had the energy and sleep patterns transforming completely.
The natural evolution of your social circle, optimizing for depth.
That revolutionary new relationship with time and priorities, the joy of conscious choice.
The fascinating cognitive adaptations, shifting from speed to wisdom.
And finally, that profound, unexpected sense of freedom and authenticity.
And the absolutely crucial takeaway is that none of these are signs of decline. Not at all. They are natural, sophisticated adaptations for this stage of life.
Right. It connects to a bigger picture. When you understand these shifts, when you embrace them, they actually work together to create a life that can be more intentional.
More authentic.
And maybe more deeply fulfilling than any decade that came before. Your 80-year-old self isn't a lesser version.
No, it's a specialized version, optimized for different but equally valuable, equally important capabilities and experiences.
The real transformation happens when you see that, when you realize that understanding and embracing these changes really does open the door to a surprisingly fulfilling time of life. So as we wrap up this deep dive, here's a final thought for you to mull over. Which of these 5 shifts surprised you the most today? Or, if you're already living some of them, which one has actually felt the most positive, the most liberating for you?